Hi everyone, in this video you are going to know about the activity in Pega. What is an activity in Pega? So activity is one of the business rule in Pega environment. So activity is a step-by-step execution of the business logic. It plays a very prominent role while developing applications in Pega environment. So when you consider any other programming languages, you'll have a functions and procedures. So similar to functions or procedures, so activity is like a function or a procedure in a Pega environment. So it accepts the parameters and processes the business logic and sends the output or returns the output. So after creating an activity in Pega environment, you can see some of the action items like steps, parameters, based on classes, security, specifications, history. So in steps you can define, so what are all the different steps you can execute while executing activity, like creating pages and opening the data tables and process the various other rules. So in the next step, parameters, it accesses the parameters from the other activity, or when you calling this activity you can pass the parameters to this activity, and it accepts the parameters as an input, and using those parameters you can process the business logic according to your requirement. In pages and classes you can define what are the different classes that you are using in this activity, like work class or data classes you can define. So for that data work classes you can map the pages for the classes, and you can use those pages in your activity uh, steps. The security, like how we can access this activity, and so who can access, how we can access, any restrictions can be done, can be implemented in the security tab. And specifications, you can define what all the specifications are required for this activity, and history tab maintains all the history of the activities. So you can see like so after creating, creating an activity role, you need to define the business logic for your activity. So here the main thing, the main thing in this rule is like label, method, step page and description are there, like for each step in this activity we'll have a label, method, step page and description. Label is nothing but the sequence of the number, sequence of the steps inside the activity. And method is like we had different out of box methods like a page new, obj open, obj save, obj delete, something like that. So you can use those methods in your steps, and mention the step is like so on which page you are going to execute this method, and description like provide some useful information, provide clear some description about the step is like what you are going to perform on that step. So we'll have a so you can do, you can check for the preconditions, you can check for the post conditions using the activity. You can jump from one step to the another steps, and you can perform various error handling, and also you can define various local parameters, local variables in this activity for your business logic for processing any kind of manipulations. And for each method, like you can specify, when you specify any method, like you can specify what are the different parameters required for those methods. And also, so methods general, the common methods are like property set, and so you can, using a property set, you can set the values for any kind of properties that you have created in a work pages or work classes. So like that you can define your business logic. So common methods like page new, page hyphen, which creates a new page, new page in a clipboard, and you can perform. So using when it creates a new page, you can use that page like perform your actions. So property set is another method, like you can set the property values and all. So obj open, if you obj open, using obj hyphen open, you can open any instances, classes. I mean, it returns a single record. OBJ browse when you want to open multiple records for many classes or data classes. OBJ validate, you can call any validate rule. Just you can define any kind of validate rule. Once you define the validate rule, you can use that validate rule using a OBJ validate. So if you want to save any kind of information in data tables or in data types, can use OBJ save method. So thank you for watching my video.